no two silhouettes are alike.
Pennsylvania has been dropped. Weather conditions improving there, but you are still under a watch in New York City and also in portions of Connecticut as well as central New Jersey. A large area from northwestern Pennsylvania back to eastern Iowa now under severe thunderstorm watches, and with good reason, as we have seen in recent hours a lot of severe thunderstorms. In fact, now in Ohio, quite a number of tornado warnings in effect, and we'll update those. We're joined here at the update desk by Dan Graff, meteorologist who's been keeping an eye on this activity. Dan, we have an incredible satellite view, don't we, of the Chicago area where things are heating up?
Yes, this is one of the most active days we've had in terms of severe weather at the Weather Channel for a long time. And we've talked about a lot of showers in Ohio, Pennsylvania, now in New Jersey. But a more recent development are these thunderstorms that are developing just ahead of the cold front in northern Illinois, and some real intense cells developing just north of Chicago, impacting the Chicago area and suburbs at this time. And how they developed was, if you look very closely, you can see a sea breeze that develops, and it stops right around in there. The last couple of frames that you see right there is where it stops. And what happened is our cold front that moved through Milwaukee actually several hours ago has now interacted with our sea breeze, or lake breeze I should say, and so that's where a very large thunderstorm has developed.
A lot of lifting mechanism there.
Exactly. You're doubling the amount, your ability to lift the air when you have two boundaries coming together. Meanwhile, we've seen some of the most extraordinary dew points of the season, with dew points getting into the 80s now along the Mississippi River in southeastern Iowa.
Well, we'll take a look at radar here and show some of these strong storms that have developed. In fact, in eastern Iowa, there is a tornado warning in effect now for eastern Jones and all of Jackson counties. There are numerous reports of tornado touchdowns have been received between Wyoming and Maquoketa along Highway 64. Also torrential rains of 2 inches per hour, and that would be the area here. These counties, again, eastern Jones and all of Jackson counties under a tornado warning until 6:30 local time. You mentioned the dew points. This doesn't really do justice, as you said, Dan, because
yes,
they're above these in some cases, right?
That's right, because these are just major cities. It turns out some of the agricultural areas east of Des Moines, for example, some of the cornfields have dew points near 80 degrees. And it's not just Iowa. We've seen similar values reported in Illinois as well. As we're looking at this radar, there's something very important that's going on in northern Ohio that we need to talk about. This area had very violent weather this morning with a very fast-moving thunderstorm complex that moved through there. We, in fact, have some video of that. And now what's happening is a lake breeze front has interacted with the humid air. It's produced a very solid line of thunderstorms, some of them severe. The problem is these thunderstorms, unlike this morning's case, are not moving very quickly.
Oh, yes.
So we have the potential now for flash flooding.
A lot of rain dumped in small areas. We also have in that cluster of severe thunderstorms over northern Ohio a number of tornado reports or indications of possible tornadoes on radar. We want to mention Summit County, Ohio, as well as Trumbull, Lorain and Medina counties, Wayne County and Ashland counties. In all of these areas, be on the alert for rapidly changing weather conditions. There may be a twister in your area. Warnings do cover your counties. And we move on toward the east, and we are going to see as the radar takes us on toward the east, some of this activity was way back to the west earlier today, wasn't it, Dan?
Yes, this has been around just about all day. Started, believe it or not, in the Mississippi Valley, propagated across the southern Great Lakes, moved through northern Pennsylvania with devastating effects, many downed trees and power lines there. Now, fortunately, it is weakening as we get into the evening hours. It's losing some of its punch, although there were winds close to 50 miles per hour in the New York City area. Amazingly, it's moving all the way out into Suffolk County, Long Island, and even into Connecticut now as well.
Well, we will certainly keep an eye on the severe weather as it has erupted over a large area. And now to update you on the rest of the weather across the country, here's Rich Johnson in the studio.
It progresses a lot of information to get out to you across a good deal of the Midwest, the Plains, and even into parts of the Northeast. Just to give you an idea of how powerful a lightning bolt is, we got a report out of LeClaire in Scott County, Iowa. Lightning struck a tree there, and according to the storm report, the tree exploded. So this is very dangerous weather. We've had tornadoes on the ground in Iowa and Illinois this evening. Although there are no tornado watches out, there are severe thunderstorm watches, and just because you're not under a tornado watch officially, that doesn't mean tornadoes cannot touch down. Also in Washington County, eastern Washington County, that tornado warning was canceled about 25 minutes earlier. The rotation on Doppler disappeared from that particular thunderstorm cell. Let's show you what's going on in the atmosphere, and then we'll get to all your radars all the way from Pittsburgh to Chicago to Topeka and Kansas City. Severe thunderstorms, they're out there, the bright white clouds, and look how quickly now they're firing up now. We're having problems dealing with this torrential rainfall. Those of you in north central and northeastern Kansas, up to the area south of Des Moines, and all evening we've been dealing with heavy rainfalls, Cleveland and south and now into western Pennsylvania. New York, there goes that line which raced through earlier. Unfortunately, wind knocked down a tree, killing a resident in the Bronx at a park. But now more storms developing out to your west. A lot of humid air coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, a cold front, and look at this spin in the atmosphere. Can you see that little spin there? This guy is going to cause problems tomorrow. So if you're in the Ohio Valley, New York City, more rains moving in now through the hills of northwest Jersey, coming in from the Poconos. So the bad weather in New York City is not over with for tonight. Those storms will likely make it in. Now you're going to stay in the hot, humid air in those areas.
Right now. Look at this. One line of thunderstorms now moving into the Philadelphia area. There's a secondary line through the Susquehanna Valley and Lehigh Valley. And then look at this cluster of shower and storms. This is moving in tomorrow. We're expecting some heavy rain in the afternoon and tomorrow night, and maybe even some more severe weather. All this has to move through before we start to dry off and cool down for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll take you closer in again. Severe thunderstorm warning right now till 11 o'clock in southeastern Montgomery County, parts of western and eastern Delaware County, and also the city of Philadelphia. It looks like it's sitting right above the city right now. The heaviest storms are heading over into Bucks County. And we'll take you even a little closer in and show you where we are as far as the map here. And there's that showers and storms we mentioned. There's the Pennsylvania Turnpike cutting through. And again, here's the other storm now. Looks like King of Prussia area, and that's continuing to slide off to the east. So the northern side of Philadelphia, North Philly and Northeast Philly, probably get that thunderstorm. And maybe right here in Center City as well. Look at that other cluster. There's Reading, Lancaster. That is also going to move through. So it's going to be a wild night tonight, and probably a sleepless night for a lot of us with that thunderstorm activity.
Coming down from the north and west, and there's a bit of a spin there. You can see that moving through the Dakotas. Now that's going to cause some problems tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So we'll go through this exercise again. We can see the bright whites indicating those big storms developing, continuing to develop this evening from Kansas all the way into New York City. Red is on the map tonight. We've got numerous severe thunderstorm watches from the Storm Prediction Center. Some of these going through late tonight and obviously early tomorrow morning, early Sunday morning. stretching from Topeka and Kansas City over towards Chicago, Indianapolis, and then into a good deal of western and central Pennsylvania. You're under a watch too. No watch yet for New York City and Philadelphia. We'll keep you posted. Let's start our radar tour now in Kansas. Numerous warnings in Kansas, including Hamilton County. Also, those of you in Brown County, Saline, Ellsworth, and Barton counties, all in central and northeastern Kansas. Severe thunderstorms now on the move towards Topeka. Look out around Kansas City and Overland Park in the next couple of hours, because these storms not only are capable of producing high winds, but obviously very, very heavy rainfalls. Lawrence, Leavenworth, and all of you in northeastern Kansas need to be certainly on the lookout for these storms as they approach from the west. Also, we've had a lot of heavy rain off to the south and east of Des Moines tonight, and we still have developing storms and possible tornadoes in eastern parts of Iowa. Let's go there via the Chicago Metro radar, and right there along Interstate 80, we still have a possible tornado, and there's a warning now continuing for southern Johnson, northern Washington County, and also for Muscatine County. That's till 10:35. The other warning for southern Johnson and northern Washington County until 10:15. We've got two cells here. There's one right there and one right there. These are both just to the west of the Quad Cities. And again, take cover because there are possible tornadoes. We've had sightings of tornadoes in the Quad Cities area this evening. Heavy rains moving through Illinois right now. Those of you in southern Henry County still under a severe thunderstorm warning. The worst of it is over in Chicago as far as the tremendous amounts of rainfall. You've had up to 5 inches of rain in some of the suburbs and out towards O'Hare Airport and just along and north of the Eisenhower Expressway. Now the heavier rains are moving south towards Joliet and downstate. As we expand our view to the Ohio Valley, tremendous rains too. Mentioned the flash flooding in Ohio. Those of you in Paulding County, Putnam County, also in western Defiance County in this area. And then also in the northeastern Indiana, flash flood warnings continue until 11:30 for DeKalb County, or rather DeKalb County, LaGrange, and Noble counties. Cleveland, heavy rains are in the area, but most of the heavier stuff has moved down towards Columbus into the panhandle of West Virginia. Let's go into the Pittsburgh area, and you can see how those heavy rains now have moved down towards the state line, but you're still under warnings now in Westmoreland and Fayette County. And let's extend our view now east. And we now have severe thunderstorm warnings continuing for the city of Philadelphia, Delaware County, and southeastern Montgomery County. They're getting ready to cross the river. Let's go in a bit closer, and you can see the cell right here, those storms, more severe weather out through the valley areas, up towards the Poconos, redevelopment taking place. There's that line now moving through the central part of the state. And look out in New York City and points north in the lower Hudson Valley. You're now under a severe thunderstorm warning in Rockland County as severe thunderstorms are moving through the northern part of the county. High winds and gusty winds. They're moving high winds rather and a large hail possible. They're moving east-southeast at 30. So look out in the New York City metro area. Also, as they get into Connecticut now into Fairfield County around New Canaan and Stamford, and again crossing Long Island Sound into Nassau and Suffolk counties. Another round of very dangerous weather. And you've already had to deal with some very strong winds late this afternoon in the New York City area. So just about everywhere from New York City, Chicago to KC, you certainly need to be aware of the seriousness of this situation. We'll keep you posted. Now with an update on that heat in the Northeast, including the New York area. Let's go back to...
apparently, let's shut... there it goes. There went one good boomer right outside Channel 10 here, NBC 10. And then we had one just out City Line Avenue. It really hit something good. Then it probably knocked a little power off in somebody's neighborhood there. Today, we went to 96 degrees, 75 this morning. That little star denotes a new record for the date. The old mark's at 1938. Normal high should be 11 full points lower than that at 85. Now, the record for the day, there it is, 95, 1938. Cloud cover, we've got it over us. Obviously, we've got some in place. Had a beautiful moon earlier. Hope you got to see that one. It's still running to 86 degrees at the airport in Philadelphia, 73 up in Allentown. You had some rain across there, some pretty heavy showers. Not everybody got them, but they were scattered through that area. You can tell about where the rain was because down south of that, considerable amount of temperature still holding in place. Rainfall tonight shaped up like this. This is that line of storms that rolled through here a little earlier. We had some that one's still to come, but it's sliding toward the east. The frontal system that we're looking for tomorrow to give us the break in the heat is well out to the west. The heat and humidity building in here and all over the area. Going to be getting showers, thunderstorms. They just simply seem to grow in the heat and humidity. That's a very normal occurrence. But with a cold front coming through tomorrow night, we'll have a solid line of showers. The stuff that's out in the Midwest now will regroup tomorrow, move through here during the late afternoon and tomorrow night, possibly on and off through the night tomorrow night to give us some good, hopefully soaking down rains tomorrow at the shore.